Hello again, everybody, and welcome to 4-Star Chicago Sports. It is Victory Monday as we survived in Minnesota. I shouldn't say survived because we did dominate the game, but made it hot on ourselves once again. But we are in first place, so let's celebrate together right after this.
Windy City banners rocking 4 stars aligned. Dynasty dreams rise, Bulls in their prime. Cubs curse shattered, the victory divine. Fields be running, clock ticking on my timeline. Shot-town heroes, legends never fade. Black Hawks flying, cutting ice with the blade. White Sox diamonds, the Southside parade. 4 stars shine bright, legacies they made. Mike with the crown, air rain, no dispute. Sweetness in the backfield, Walter in pursuit. Bear down Sunday's midfield, battles cute. Chicago's.
Last thing, the most important piece is we're going to take the North and never give it back.
Well, we got the North, but how hard is it going to be to hold on to it? It's the bigger question.
It's the give it back part that I'm wondering about now. It is a good feeling, though, is it not, Sean?
It is, and as ugly as things were, and let's not kid ourselves, things were ugly.
I'm past it, man. I can't even.
Well,
this is who they are, man.
Well,
This
the
is who
team
they are.
persevered.
I don't know that they're going to be much better version than this of themselves, Sean. This season.
I don't know about that. I mean, here the only thing that I took away is this should have been an absolute ass whooping on Minnesota yesterday. I mean, the Bears
agreed.
At least 17 points on the field. I mean, he had DJ wide open, he had Rome open, and those things are going to get better. And Ben Johnson talked about that today. He said time on task. The more time on task, those things will start to come, and we can only hope, because you can't keep leaving those points on the field, right? Like, if we're being honest, you got to start picking up on some of these red zone efficiency. And that's why when we were on the show yesterday, I said, I'm going to keep this a very low scoring game because red zone efficiency is still a very scary thing. The Bears defense is very good at holding people out of the end zone, but the Bears aren't very good at getting into the end zone. And it kind of worked out that way as a low scoring ball game. And it just head scratching and just cardiac arrest almost yesterday in the garage.
Yeah, I mean, this is the fashion that they're winning in over and over again, which makes me feel that it's, I mean, you watch the first last minute comeback a few weeks ago against Cincinnati and you think, wow, how rare is that? You see the Bears come back and win a game in that fashion, and now they've made it their niche, man. I mean, this is just, it's remarkable that, it's almost completely like the script has been flipped on this organization entirely, Sean, because if you went from a team that gave up 5 games with a 90% win rate in the fourth quarter a year ago, you know what I mean? Matt Eberflus did something that no other coach in the history of the NFL could ever do. For him to lose 5 games with a 90% win rate in the fourth quarter, he had a 1 in 60 million odd. Did you know that?
Yeah.
So now you're looking at the reverse side of this, where you've got yourself a quality head coach, and the Bears are the ones who are stealing these games from everybody, and we were the team that was getting games stolen on us. And I think, to be honest with you, Sean, as much as I love the win, and I do, and I'll take it any way they can give it, but this is the most critical I've ever been of Ben Johnson after a game. I don't know how you felt.
I agree with you. No, I agree with you. And unfortunately, guys, Kyle is a little under the weather. He left my house a little bit after the Bears game, not feeling the greatest, so he's sitting this one out tonight. But I honestly, man, I text you guys during the game, like, why are we running this clock out? He's passing with this big lead. And maybe this goes back to them saying, Caleb even said after the game, like, when we want to step on their throat, we want to crush them.
They should have.
They should have, and this should have happened earlier. And being critical of Ben Johnson, and I know everyone's going to be caught up on that fantastic run that Kyle Monangai had in the red zone that was set up by a nice pull by Jonah Jackson pulling to the left side of the line. And then if people didn't recognize this, that hole was opened on the right side by Colston Loveland, on the left side by Cole Kmet. And Cole.
Oh, they had a great game, man.
Yeah, they did. They did. Now, but as I say this, Kyle Monungai did not have a good game yesterday. He was tackled behind the line of scrimmage 5 times yesterday. DeAndre Swift, 0. DeAndre Swift comes in at the end of the game and starts carving them up 5 yards, 5 yards, 5 yards. Then he decides to bring in Kyle Monungai. Kyle Monungai's first 2 carries were -2 yards. I didn't understand the mentality behind that. Roll with your hot hand.
When he had the carry at the end in the red zone where he got the touchdown, I'll be honest with you, man. I was watching the game at a bar just because I wanted to like be out, and there was an old guy sitting next to me that was a big Bears fan. He was talking to me, and he's like, "You seem like you know a lot of stuff about football." So like the guy started asking me a lot of questions, and DeAndre Swift got stuffed 2 plays before the touchdown, and I said to him, the guy sitting next to me, I said, "There's a rookie on this team that is built for this, and he should be in the football game." And he came in the next play. I think he got like a 2-yard carry or something. But after that, he hit the touchdown. He punched it home.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. After that, Ben didn't use either one in a fashion that I don't think Swift got enough work outside at all on this football team. And I don't know.
It was non-existent in the passing game.
One either. And listen, I know this is a team that can set the edge. They have quality defenders, man. This team can set the edge. But I still believe you have to give – Ben Johnson's been really consistent at trying to run no matter what. No matter the result, he sticks to it. He's loyal to it. He wants a 50-50 split in his offense. You can see that. The guy hits it almost every week. And I thought that they kind of abandoned DeAndre Swift needs to be used in a lot of different ways, man, and not the way that they not. And I thought DeAndre Swift had a really good game yesterday, but I still don't love the way that Ben Johnson used him. But what you said earlier, man, I want to relate to. Caleb, I didn't know Caleb Williams said that after the game. We want to put their foot on their throat. That's the term that I used with you guys in the text after the game, because I truthfully believe this
he was talking about killer instinct and having that killer instinct and going out and finishing teams off when they have the opportunity.
Yeah, this was the first game, Sean, where I feel like, I mean, Ben Johnson has always been aggressive with the lead behind. He's always aggressive. This game alone is the first game where I thought to myself, God, the Bears could really just put this thing away right now. If they get down this field and score a touchdown, this game is fucking over. And it was the most conservative I've ever seen Ben Johnson be. On 4th down, he was punting. I was like, this is strange, because this is a team that I feel like you have a hold of right now. Like they're in your grasp, and you're allowing them to come back into this game for whatever reason. And what especially bothered me about it, man, is if you think back to week 1, the game that me and you were at, this was the same thing. Minnesota crawled back into the game.
Yep.
It's like, this is the team, Ben, that you should know once you have a lead, you need to secure it. Yes. So that bothered me, man. And I don't have a lot of bad to say about Ben Johnson. He's a phenomenal coach. It's pretty clear we hit it, but
I don't either. I thought the one thing for me, and actually I wasn't too upset. I know we were talking a little bit about the tight end usage, and the tight ends had 12 targets for 9 catches for 93 yards, wound up being at 10.33 yards.
It was mostly Kmet.
Well, no, they both had. Kmet was 5 for 5 for 45. Loveland had 4 targets, 3 for 40, 13 yards, and then Durham Smythe had the 3 cut 1 for 8 yards. So they finished with 12 for 93 on 9 catches and 10.34 yards per catch. I think he was trying to exploit some mismatches, but I was just kind of looking at it and sitting there. And when I look at the box score and say this is great, because I thought, honestly, and I know Ben Johnson said this today in his press conference, but I was talking to Kyle about this yesterday and saying this was definitely Cole Kmet's best game as a Bear under this regime. You're starting to see the growth in the offense of Colston Loveland. And
that's not by an accident, Sean.
No, and honestly, when Loveland had this catch, let me see if I got this here. I believe it's this one right here. Yes, this is it. right
Yeah,
here.
the
Yeah,
big first down. Yeah.
I thought that was sealing the game for the Bears, and the offense was just non-existent. And you want to know, we've talked so much about scripted plays and how the scripted plays, the Bears have looked really good in the scripted plays. And yesterday, it was crazy because when you think about it as a whole, Brandon, think about it as a whole. The Bears are 2 plays away from being 9-1, but they're like 4 plays away from being 3-7. Okay. And when you look at that
That's
first
what. Yeah,
half,
yeah. That's the difference. Sean, the coaching staff is the difference in that.
yeah, 100%. 100%.
And
And
Caleb. Listen, yeah, go finish what you were saying, man, because
no,
we're gonna dive into Caleb here because there's a lot to be
yeah,
said.
we can get into Caleb too, because this is kind of where it is. Because when you look at that first half, there was 33 offensive plays in that first half. They gained 128 total yards. They averaged 3.3 yards per carry. And going into halftime, Caleb's completion percentage was under 50%. I forgot to write the number down. I know
I thought it was at the end of the game.
was. No, he finished at 50%. He finished 16 for 32 in the first half of the game. Now, I want to say this, and I mean this wholeheartedly. When you go down and you look at the passers that Flores has controlled this year, there's only been 2 good passers against him all year. He's pretty much shut everybody down. And you look at Lamar Jackson, a 2-time league MVP, big-time offensive player with Zay Flowers and Andrews and Derrick Henry. And guys, Flores in Minnesota held them to 4 field goals and pretty much shut that offense down as well. So I kind of look at this in totality and say, at home, he kind of did exactly what Lamar Jackson, a 2-time league MVP, in his offense was able to do. So I'm not going to hold this too much because Flores came at him. I think at the total at the end of the game, it was 67.7% of the time he blitzed. He was blitzed on almost every drop back that he had yesterday. Very difficult. And I will be perfectly honest with you, Brandon. And I mean this. I said this in the game, in the pre-show yesterday. I wanted to see growth in Caleb. And I'm going to tell you this right now. I thought that Caleb looked really, really good in his hot read recognition. I thought it was outstanding. I thought he was diagnosing the extra blitzers and getting the ball out to his hot routes.
Pre-snap. Yeah,
yes.
He is. Yeah, and Sean, an area in which we don't really speak about Caleb too much, I think we take it for granted. I talked to you guys earlier today about it in text, is this kid just doesn't turn the ball over, man.
Yeah.
And I don't think that we pay enough attention to that because most of these quarterbacks, even the good ones this year, I mean, honestly, think about it. I was going through quarterback statistics, and even the league leaders besides Matthew Stafford are all above Caleb in interceptions. And it's I think Josh Allen threw 2 in a game yesterday. I don't know that Caleb Williams has ever had more than 1 touchdown in a game in his career. This guy's a year and a half in.
More than 1 touchdown or 1 interception?
Or 1 interception.
1 interception.
Maybe if there was 1 game, it was the Colts last year or Texans, but I don't think he has. And that is an area in which not only has he grown, man, because he was a good protector of the football last year as well. I just think this is going to be Caleb from here on out. I think this is going to be him throughout his career. I think he's a guy that's going to have a very low interception percentage over the course of his career. And I think that was huge in that game yesterday because, Sean, what was the difference? That game was parallel to last year, or not last year, week one. Week 1, parallel. The Bears took a lead. They kind of hung on a little bit. The Vikings were able to sneak back up. J.J. McCarthy made some plays. The Vikings take the lead. What was the difference in that football game?
I hate to say it, but it was recognition of Richard Hightower of how they were covering the kickoffs.
Well, the special teams came up huge. I mean, the special teams with Duvernay's return and the field goal, you could honestly say the special teams won that football game. But what I was alluding to was turnovers, takeaways. This football team is different since they've been taking the ball away. It is the recipe for success. It is what's winning them football games right now. This defense is not good. They can't hold up. They didn't put pressure on McCarthy, a young quarterback, but they took the ball away. And I've been really impressed. And I honestly believe that if the Bears weren't able to stop those drives, especially when Sean Wright took the ball away in the end zone, I don't know that the Bears win this football game. We talked about that before it happened on Sunday, man.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I saw someone say they're disappointed in Javon Dexter's performance yesterday. I think Javon Dexter had a good game. I think Grady Jarrett had his best game as a
He
Chicago
was good.
Bear. And there was a lot of pressure coming up the middle yesterday, and the Chicago Bears forced a lot of quick indecisions out of the
McCarthy.
Thank you. I'm trying to think of his name. I thought the interior of the offensive line played well. There was a couple. I had to go back and watch the all-22s today a little bit. I didn't get through them all, but I did see a couple plays, and I know I said I thought Booker disappointed me a little bit, but Booker had a couple of plays where he was actually absolutely dominant. And there was one where he picked up Darashaw and pushed him into McCarthy's lap yesterday, which I thought was fantastic.
Yeah, Grady Jarrett was responsible for one of those turnovers for sure.
Yeah, he absolutely. He was responsible for Kevin Byard's turnover.
Yeah, he had, and he was frustrated. What I was telling you guys too, he was frustrated after the play that he didn't get the sack.
Yeah. But this is next gen stats, dude. Next gen stats is so freaking awesome, dude. Look at not only the ground that's covered, and I found this on X today through next gen stat, but look at this is the pocket being pushed by Grady Jarrett. The bright blue line is Kevin Byard, and look at the ground that he covers on this interception. This is crazy, dude.
Hey, Sean.
50.
No, keep going. Sorry.
You see 50 getting in there. He's all over McCarthy, forces that ball. Look at that loop, the ground that Byard covered on this play. That is absolutely insane. You see Grady Jarrett, and you also see if you look, there's 97 was the first one in the backfield causing some confusion. Gets that ball over. I mean, I thought the Bears all in all, it wasn't
97.
I think it's Chris Williams. Chris Williams is 97, isn't he?
Oh, I didn't realize he was on the field yesterday, man. I didn't get today. This game, I did not get a chance to go back and do my breeze through my rewatch. But yeah, I thought Grady Jarrett was impactful. They do me a favor, Sean. Give a shout out and read. I cannot control any of the chat at all.
Oh, that was Billings. Sorry, that was Billings. My bad. That was Billings.
97 Billings.
Yeah, 91 is Chris Williams. The chat. Yeah, no problem. Hold on here. Let's where do we go?
Sorry, guys. I'm without my computer tonight, so
we'll start here. You think the Bears G-line DE free agency because the 26 draft and 25 is very good?
I think they either go Romy. I think they either go running back or defensive line. Yes, edge rusher. Yeah, or if they're in position to get a left tackle, it might be the time you want to see Ryan Poles pull that trigger in the first round.
Scottish Bear says Williams won't turn the ball over evenly. Drake T18. I don't know if I've seen you here before, but welcome to the show, man.
Scottish. His protecting the ball is impressive, and we take it for granted. We overlook it, I think.
Refereeing in week 1 was atrocious. That's from Drake. Phil says DJ
the officiating's been atrocious every week. Sean.
Every week. It was really bad yesterday. I don't.
Yeah, Travis Homer got his head torn off his body.
My God. How did
you see the still frame shot of that?
Yeah, he's like,
there's a still frame where his head's being pulled, and in between the player's hand and the helmet, behind it is a ref who's like just looking directly at it, and it's like, I don't understand. That's the second time this year, man. Second time this year.
I will tell you, and you remember it was Dallas Turner, that sack that he got out of Dallas Turner that I thought he was sacked, and all of a sudden Caleb Williams pops out yesterday. Go back and watch the ref's face on that particular play.
Oh, see, like an awe.
Yeah, dude. It was Kyle and I looked at each other almost on the same, like, you see the ref? Kyle noticed it first. And then I looked at it, I was like, dude, he was just like his jaw was dropped.
Don't we all, man?
I don't know how he got out of that play.
Dude, yeah.
Honestly.
I mean, so And that was something that I wanted to say about Caleb, man, is I was thinking today, I was texting Dustin about it, and I'll ask you, man, honestly, and I want your honest opinion.
Yeah.
Leave bias out as much as you can.
Uh-huh.
If you take a guy like Tyson Bagent and plug him in there, and let's say that he is good in timing, let's say that he is good in structure. Are the Bears still winning these football games? I mean, does it require what Caleb's doing in order to win the games the way they have, or would Caleb be able to do this, or would a quarterback be able to do this in a remaining in the pocket, making their progressions?
I think Caleb's elusiveness in the pocket is making a difference. I think a lot of other quarterbacks take these sacks and end drives. I do. I do think that, and I'll be perfectly honest. I mean, that DJ Moore drop, my boy. I can't believe he dropped it, but that was what 3rd and 14, 3rd and 15, something like that. He should have had.
I think they ended up getting that first down.
I think they did. I think
that was the one Loveland got the play.
That was the Loveland next play. But I don't. I think the Bears would still have some wins. I don't think they'd be sitting at 7 wins.
That's what Dustin said. Said he said he thinks around 5 wins if they don't have the Caleb heroics. So I mean, I guess the benefit of Caleb still not being where you want him to be, and he's not, because I thought yesterday in the first half there was 2 huge plays left on the field. He overthrew 2 really quality.
Yeah,
there was 2 plays that Ben drew up beautifully, where I think one was DJ, one was Rome, if I'm not mistaken, man, and he just butchered the throw. So, I mean, there is obviously areas in which Caleb has got to start getting better, cannot be leaving. I mean, this Minnesota team, Sean, is infamous for giving up big plays, and the Bears really had none. You need to be able to exploit them there, and Caleb missed the throws when they had it. But I do think that while he's developing and while he's progressing, his ability to rely on the thing that he knows best has been really beneficial to the Bears. So I think what he's known and done his whole life is helping them win games at the same time that Ben's helping him become a more well-rounded player.
And really quick, Relentless Mikey, I'm continuing to be impressed in how Caleb recognizes the defense in the middle of the field and not turning the ball.
His cadences are they make a difference.
They are. And when it comes to that, like I just said, the sack avoidance stuff is absolutely absurd, man. Being under pressure, the broken plays, he can turn them into explosive plays. I think as he continues to grow and you see him expand, especially on something that we talked about last week, that I still think once Caleb, and I'm going to say this, and I mean this, obviously his deep balls, I think will get better, but I still think the touch passes are what's going to take him to the next level, and he has to figure that out because his touch passes right now, man, dude, they are awful, dude. But once he consistently is starting to layer throws with touch, sky's the limit, and then the Bears do have a franchise quarterback. I think he's working his way towards that. But this layered stuff, he's got to be able to hit all these because, honestly, when you look at the 16 of 32 and you look at the part of the game that was kind of weak yesterday, it was the touch pass part. I know he overthrew 2 deep balls, but he still hit some really good zip balls with that, or deep balls with zip and that arm strength that he has. But those touch passes, those little things that can help create and create 2nd and short, 3rd and short, I think that's the next part of the evolution of his game that hopefully will improve pretty quickly, because you're starting to see every week the components. And I said this on Sunday. I thought this game was so important because I told you guys, I said, we know this already. This guy's going to blitz 70% of the time. It wound up being 67. I think in the first half, the number was 78. So it came down a little bit in the second half to even it out around 67. But the recognition of him picking up those blitzers at the line of scrimmage and then after getting that ball out so quickly, he did it a couple times to Komet, and that was kind of the one thing, like, I thought this was a game where DeAndre Swift would have 5, 6, 7 catches, being that little outlet off when he's picking up the blitz, and that just didn't come to fruition. It seemed like they wanted that to be the tight ends yesterday, which to me was a little bizarre, but it is what it is.
Well, and the backs did play a lot of pass protection, even on their
Yeah.
routes, man. They were chipping out there, so and I think it was necessary. But yeah, I mean, like what you said about Williams, man, I his ability after somebody's already got their hands on him in the last couple of weeks. You know what I mean? Like getting out of the pocket and running away from somebody because you're faster than them is one thing a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL can do nowadays. Getting out of the grasp of a Brian Burns, you know what I mean? Getting like these guys have got hands on him, and he is just pure lower body strength, man. And he's just pushing them off, and he's keeping his legs moving, and it's paid major dividends for the Bears in these last couple of weeks in their winning efforts. And I would like to see Caleb continue to use his legs a little bit, and I would like to obviously see a little less contact. I mean, Benedet's having it rough on pass protection, man. I don't know what's going to happen over there. What's going to give? He went out on a play, and Trapillo played for him. I don't really think it was. Trapillo, I think, did his job, but I don't know what the Bears are going to have to do to resolve that problem because Caleb is taking a lot of hits, regardless of the sack numbers. He's getting hit a lot.
Yeah.
So you'd like to see that improve.
Melon Smasher says, first series, Caleb missed Rome on an explosive. Second, Caleb missed DJ on an explosive. Third, Caleb fumbled the handoff. Fourth series, Ben went run heavy. Series for TD. Yeah, I was actually, I'm with you, Melon Smasher. I thought, and the Bears actually did still run a lot. It just didn't seem like, I don't know, it seemed really clunky yesterday. You know, I know we use that word a lot, but the offense seemed more clunkier than normal yesterday. And I mean, they still put the ball in the running back's hands. What was it? 40 times, 39 times for 140 yards. It wasn't the most efficient day at 3.6 yards per carry. But yet again, when they needed to, the run game was there. And I think that's what's important to me, that these guys just continue to keep improving and winning while they improve. And I know I was down a little bit, but I told you beating Minnesota, beating Green Bay, beating Detroit is going to pucker me up a lot. Beating these bottom feeders in the NFL, they don't do much for me when we're struggling against them. And
This was the Bears' best win.
I don't disagree with that. And I don't think Minnesota's like, I think if Minnesota had a different quarterback, we'd be talking about a way more quality victory. JJ McCarthy, guys, he's just ass. That guy sucks, dude. I mean, he is really bad at football, dude.
He's not good, man. And you watch a guy, and listen, I know he had a bad day yesterday against a quality defense, but you look at what Sam Darnold's doing, and you just wonder, man, like what the hell are these teams thinking that are so willing to just let quarterbacks walk away from them? That's why, we talk about what the market demands, and like people are like, oh, they paid this guy that much. Well, it's either that or he goes. And I don't know that that's shown to be any better than paying the guy more than you should, man. I mean, I really don't. Are the Cardinals, who paid Kyler Murray, in any worse position than the Vikings, who let Darnold go?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm with you. Hey, and as we sit here, guys, I mean, let's take a look at it. Let's bask in it for a little bit. I don't know how long it's going to be here. So, I mean, these are NFC North standings, man. Look who's sitting on top. Isn't that glorious?
And it's ridiculous that the Packers are even in second because they couldn't finish a game.
They're so bad.
So strange to be rewarded for ties in the NFL. They got to make that. I don't know, man. That should count as like a loss. Like both those teams were too afraid to go for it all in that game. It was pathetic.
And you want to know what's funny is, when they made this trade, and Micah Parsons has been all that for them. I mean, his numbers are going to be outstanding at the end of the year. But that's when they traded for Micah Parsons. I was like, oh, Packers are Super Bowl. I'm like, how are they Super Bowl? They have no quality receivers. They continue to struggle at that position.
Watson had a hell of two touchdown catches yesterday that really impressed me, man. For a guy who never ever plays.
I'm surprised he didn't get hurt on
I
either
was,
of them.
yeah, I know, and I was like, this is the guy who like they want him to be when they draft him in the second round, but he just can't remain on the field. And I would imagine by the time the Bears play him, he's not going to be around. And
DJ Profit asked, more impressive job, Ben here in Chicago or Vrabel in New England? I think they're neck and neck. They're neck and neck. I mean,
I think Mike Vrabel has a much easier schedule.
he
So
does.
I think if you look at where Ben is, I think you're going to know the answer to that question by the season's end. Because if Ben Johnson is anywhere near the same boat as Mike Vrabel in regards to record, Ben had to climb a much taller hill. Say that. The Patriots had a really, really, really beneficial strength of schedule this year, man.
Yeah.
I think Dustin on our preseason show had him winning 10 games or something like that. And he was right. If you go back and look at the teams they've played over the course of the season, I don't see where there was too many losses. I don't know why I picked him the way I did. I think I only had him at 6 wins.
I agree with Jed too. He said it's not like Williams' metrics actually look that bad comparatively this year. We want improvement, but quarterbacks are struggling against good defenses across the league, even the MVP candidates this year. I don't disagree. If you look, there was a number of quarterbacks that finished at a 50% completion percentage. And that's why I said I'm willing to forgive Caleb, because if you look at Caleb's numbers, this was his worst game of the season. It was his lowest completion percentage. It was his lowest yards per completion percentage. It was his lowest game of EPA. Every metric of Caleb Williams' game was the lowest of his season last year. Now, my question is, Brandon, for you, is the Bears 2 weeks ago were averaging 24 points a game, only held under it twice. Now they've been held under 24 points 4 times, including back-to-back weeks. With the Pittsburgh Steelers coming in next week, do you think this is something that's fixable? Do you think that Ben can get this offense humming? Do you see something in your mind that's held them back a little bit, or it's just been a little bit of the better defenses? Because I'll be honest, I thought the Giants were a little bit of a better defense. The Giants gave the Packers everything they could. The Giants beat the world champion Philadelphia Eagles. I know everyone thought that we were going to run roughshod over the Giants. The Giants are banged up, but they're giving everybody a good ball game. So do you think this is something that it can be corrected, or are the Bears just going to kind of have to are they trending down a little bit offensively? What are your thoughts?
No, I think it's rare that Caleb doesn't throw or run a touchdown in a football game. I think that's something you're going to, but we only had one touchdown in the game yesterday. It was Monungai's run. I think that the Bears are going to get in the end zone more often than they did yesterday, man. I think that the red zone thing, Sean, is still not where it needs to be. Their red zone,
Yeah, the red zone
when they get
efficiency is
into a
wild.
short field, they're just a different football team. Caleb looks worse. Ben makes really conservative calls in the red zone. I thought when he was doing the fancy stuff, giving whoever the ball to throw back to whoever to throw the ball to Caleb Williams, that stuff was working, man. And
Yeah.
I consider that aggression. When you're calling those, when you get the balls to call those trick plays in the red zone, that's aggressive. That's aggressive play calling, and that stuff worked. And I think Ben Johnson has gone back to this. At least in Minnesota yesterday, again, like I said, I thought he was just far too conservative. I thought there was moments where he needed to put his foot on the gas. And no, I expect Caleb Williams. I expect the Bears to score more than 19 points with the with the Steelers game, especially at home.
And you want to know, DJ Profit is saying J.J. McCarthy won a national championship. He's now a bad quarterback. He's just isn't elite.
Quarterback.
He nearly beat us again. That's a crazy take. He's still a kid. Hey, you know what? I don't have to pass judgment, but I watched that guy miss a number of wide open receivers yesterday. He had a chance to win this game. He's had a chance the last 3 weeks to win games. And in case you missed this, DJ, we could say whatever we want, but it's a small sample size. But J.J. McCarthy's interception rate of 5.6% is the second highest for a quarterback since 2021. Minimum 7 pass attempts per team. The only one higher is Mike Glennon at 6%. If he's going to improve, he better get going, because I can tell you there's frustration. You see it in Justin Jefferson's face. I mean, Justin Jefferson, he's supposed to be the leader on the team. He's slamming his helmet. It's bubbling over in Minnesota, and it couldn't happen to a better franchise, I'll be perfectly honest.
And I I dove really deep into this rabbit hole over the offseason that is college quarterbacks pass attempts.
Mhm.
And I'm coming to find, and this is more so early in their careers than the entirety of their careers, but come to find that some of these guys that are throwing really low pass attempt numbers, Sean, just aren't good in the NFL, and especially not immediately. Anthony Richardson threw 300 pass attempts in college. That is the lowest amount of pass attempts by a first round pick in over a decade. And look at the result.
Mhm.
Look at Mitch Trubisky, who threw somewhere in like the
Yeah.
600, 700s.
Yeah.
Look at JJ McCarthy, who's, I think, somewhere between 6 to 800 versus the Jaden Daniels, the Bo Nix, the Caleb Williams, the Michael Penix of the world. These guys are throwing 1,200 to 2,000 pass attempts in
Yeah.
college.
Yeah.
I mean, what is the result of doing something more? You're
More.
better at it.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
sure, McCarthy could end up being the guy the Vikings traded up to get with the 10th overall pick in a few years from now. But I will tell you this, it's not getting any better for him now.
No.
This is
And
a guy
guys,
who came to the NFL ill prepared. He should have sat on the bench for longer than he did, even with the injury he had last season, because he's not a guy who was supposed to start in the NFL as soon as he got drafted. And that's what the Vikings wanted to do with him. And I don't know that it's going to get any better for him now. I really don't.
no.
Learning
We'll
on the
see, we'll,
job.
we'll see where he comes up. I'm trying to get to everybody in the chat. I'm sorry, we're down a couple guys
What's
today.
up, Franco?
And Franco says, "What are the Bears good at, or do better than other teams in our division?" I'll say, run the football and have a knack. They have a knack of learning, or they're learning to have a knack of figuring out how to make the improbable possible. I don't know how else to say
Well,
it.
I think they take the ball away at a much
Yeah,
higher rate
they
than
do.
anyone else. I think Ben Johnson has definitely done the best job by any head coach in the NFL at balance. I think the Bears have had a 50-50 split in pass and run plays like more than 3 times this year, which is fucking unheard of. I mean, you have to try to do that, honestly. But and they also I think there's a lot of things that the Bears do that are pretty special, man. I think the 2 tight ends are starting to play a major or having a major impact on this offense. I think that's just, I think between Cole Kmet and Colson Loveland, you compare that to any other tight end duet in the league. I don't know that there's one that stands against them. The Bears, they have their lightning thunder and DeAndre Swift and there's a lot of things the Bears are doing more successfully than other football teams. But I will say this, Franco, I think resiliency, response, just the attitude alone, maybe not so the talent of each player, but how hard they're willing to play in order to win a game. There is no team in the NFL right now that is doing that better.
Hey, what do you think of this? Squeegee writes, Caleb's arm talent isn't as elite as his pass rush awareness and escapability. Caleb demoralizes their pass rushers.
I mean, I'll call it his elusiveness. I think
Yeah.
it's better than any quarterback in the NFL right now. But I thought his pocket awareness was kind of rough for this season, Sean. What do you think? I mean, didn't you think there was times where Caleb could have hung around a little longer?
Yeah,
I,
throughout.
I think as he begins to trust his offensive line, his pocket awareness has become a lot better. But I thought early in the season he was taking off when he had no reason to. I thought even yesterday there were a couple of times where he needed to just step up, step up. I still think there's something in Caleb's head that has a problem accepting that there is a pocket in front of you. I really believe that. It's like default for him to think he's got to get outside of it, even if it's there. He doesn't usually have a pocket to step into, so he's always thinking, I've got to get out and roll. I think now more often he does, and he needs to learn and he's going to take some hits too, man. He's got to learn to stay in there and then make the throw.
And V Dog writes here, he goes, "Yo, Sean and Brandon, are you guys surprised with how we're being perceived nationally, considering how much of an afterthought we've been for decades? I'm shocked the culture changed with one move. I mean, if you mean being conceived as a pretender,
No, I think he means being perceived as one of
as
the league's best teams.
one of the league's best teams. It's not being perceived that way in Vegas, because if you look today, the Bears have a 16% chance to win the NFC North the Lions are still at, I think they were 76% chance.
Yeah, the
to
Bears have a
win.
brutal strength of schedule to finish the season.
And you know what? I think that they're recognizing the culture change. I think they're recognizing what Ben Johnson's bringing
Ben,
here,
yeah,
what
it's
Ben
Ben. Sure.
Johnson's doing.
It's Ben.
And hey, it works for me. And again, like I said last week, I know I was a little harder last week, and I wasn't happy with what's going on. I'm still not happy with everything that I'm seeing. There's a lot that needs to be corrected for us to put the Bears in that elite status.
Yeah, there's a lot they just don't have.
But let me ask you this: the Lions look beatable, right? The Packers look beatable. The Packers are beatable, for the love of Christ. The two teams that worry me the most in the NFC, I guess the Eagles, and we're going to find out about the Eagles here in the next couple of weeks.
I think the Eagles by playoff time are going to be a
I agree
really,
with you.
really tough football team.
Well, their offense isn't doing it, but their defense is still there.
Is,
Their
is
defense is doing it.
stacked. Their
Yeah, their defense is
linebacking
doing it.
core is outrageous. Between Bond, Dean, and Campbell, those are all pro players, man.
Yeah. It's going to be
It's
interesting.
outrageous what those guys have put together over there, man. And now you got Cooper DeJean alongside Mitchell, who's now playing with Makuba. I mean, they're just Jair Alexander quit or whatever happened with his. I don't know why anybody touched. I said before the season started, Sean, we were talking about a potential trade for that. That guy does not belong on any football team in the NFL.
Yeah.
He's done nothing but sit out and quit.
And V-Dog, I'm with you 100%. I said, if you told me we doubled our wins with a rookie head coach and a quarterback with tons of questions, I wouldn't have believed you. I don't know if I believed it either. I don't know if I still believe it. Hold on.
Yeah, that's why you gotta take it in stride, man, and just be happy with what we're seeing. Wait, be happy with the win column because it's not gonna look pretty. I don't think at any point in this year. I really don't.
Be happy here. And we're gonna get into what lies ahead. The one thing that does bother me is this right here. Net points. The Bears are a -6 in point differential. And that is one thing that y'all have to pay attention to, because that's not a sign of a
Well,
team
their defense is terrible.
that wins games late in the season. So
their defense is worse than their offense is good.
I don't know where you're looking, Laz, but I have as of this morning on DraftKings, the Lions were the favorites to win the division still. So could be on different sports books, but the Lions were the lowest odds to win the NFC North as of this morning. The Bears were the third highest. It went on DraftKings: Lions, Packers, Bears, and then obviously the Vikings, who are probably done.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, Sean. Had the Packers had lost to that Giants team yesterday, I would have been pretty comfortable with saying their season's all but over.
Yeah, let me ask you this. Do you think the Bears can beat Seattle?
Yeah, I think the Bears can beat anybody as long as they hang around.
Really?
Listen, man, the Bears are the football team this year that you just don't let hang around. If you let
JJ,
the Bears hang around, you are asking for fucking trouble. Sean,
that's
we
true.
don't know. We don't know what we are yet. We don't know how good we can be or how bad it might end. One thing's for sure. You do not let the Bears hang around, and you don't give them the ball with any time left, which is a fantastic feeling, man, because as a Bears fan, I've been a victim of this for as long as I can remember. Remember with it's like, oh, if you give Rodgers the ball back with 38 seconds left, he's going to win the game. Well, the Bears are that football team. And it's a damn good feeling. And I don't care who they are. I don't care what the opponent is. If the Bears have the ball and they're within a one-score game, my money's on the Bears.
I agree. You know what? Honestly, yesterday I wasn't scared. I was
sitting next to an old guy, man.
50 seconds. I feel okay about this.
Yeah, we're sitting next to an old guy, and the Vikings scored. This guy starts packing his shit up, and he's like, "Well, they played a tough game." And I was like, "Dude, you sit the hell down. What are you doing?" I was like, "This is the greatest thing on television for the last couple of weeks. You better sit the hell down." And then Duvernay got the return, and I looked at him and was like, "Doors open." like banks open, time to cash out, man. It's remarkable, man. So yeah, I think the Bears can beat the Seahawks. I think they can beat the Eagles. I think they can beat anybody on any given day as long as they hang around. If the Bears, get, I don't know, Sean, do you think this Bears team is even capable at this point? Like, as much as they've progressed, are they capable of just getting hammered by somebody? I don't know.
Yes,
You think so?
I do.
I mean, who do you think does? Because the Eagles aren't hammering anybody; they're winning their games by 3 points or less. But like, I don't know that there's a team on the Bears' schedule remaining that I think is going to put up fifth. Maybe Detroit. You know,
Yeah, so really quick too, because Laz just put in here. Laz just put in here on FanDuel, the Packers are plus 135, Lions are plus 155. On DraftKings, the Lions are plus 120, the Packers are plus 140, the Bears are plus 400 for the division. So I guess it matters. It matters where you go, who's picking the Lions or who's picking the Packers. I'll be perfectly honest. Jordan Love sucks my ass. The Lions are going to win the division if it's not the Bears. I can tell you that. I promise. I promise. I
well, not
just
it's and it's deeper than that, Sean. It is. It's not just a Jordan Love thing. Something's off there, man. I said it a couple weeks ago. That Packers
yeah.
team, something's not right. I don't know, and I don't know if this is the beginning of the end for Matt LaFleur. I don't know if they start to maybe fade, but like something's not going well there, man. Something's wrong in Detroit too. Dustin disagreed with me this last night, Sean. Something looks different.
Something looks off. Well, Detroit's always been a little different on the road.
Jekyll and
Um,
Hyde, yeah,
yeah.
but they're not
And
they're
really
not
quick,
using the running backs the same way, man.
and really quick, V Dog. No, I got you, bro. He said I was misinterpreting his point that we still have a lot to improve on, no doubt. But considering how pathetic we've been for decades, I'm with you. I've been saying the same thing. I think the Bears are very far away from being an elite caliber team, but it is nice to continue to have victory Mondays while you're figuring it out. And no matter how contentious last Monday was, I was just very frustrated at the way that game ended, backed up by the way the week before ended, and it just frustrated me last week. And to see the Bears go into Minnesota in a game that they probably should have had 40 points on the board, if not 30, and then almost blow it. Yeah, it had me a little aggravated. I'm not gonna lie, but at the same time, I'm sitting here like, man, these guys figured it out and they pulled it out. Devin Duvernay, you had Hightower picking up the fact that Minnesota was on the kickoff, so we're pursuing on the backside. So what did he do? They kicked it and they took it off to the other side, let them over pursue on the backside, which then set them up to get them in position. It was a fantastic call for a guy that we've beat up for weeks, and Richard Hightower. Thought that was fantastic. There's a lot of good things happening, and it's just like they're baking a cake right now, and they're just waiting for it to rise. And sometimes my patience gets the best of me because I want to be good. I want to be, the Buffalo Bills. I want to be the Eagles. I want to be that team that competes every year. And, I see it. I see it, and it's coming. It's coming. I believe it.
And I think when it comes to patience, when it comes to your expectations, it's important not to lose sight of when you wanted this team to be that team, Sean. I
Yeah.
don't think anyone expected that to happen this year. I will say this. If your expectation is that Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, and the Bears grow together as a unit and they become one of the league's best teams, guys, this is a really good fucking start for a rookie coach.
Yeah.
I mean,
And you know what,
think
Brandon?
think about this though. You could be a 5-win team this year, and we're all just going to take it for what it is. You're not going to say get rid of your first overall quarterback. You're not going to say get rid of the head coach you just hired this season. So the fact that the results are already on the positive side of the winning column makes you think. And I said this last week, Sean. What you're seeing right now, guys, at 7-3, it has to open your eyes to the fact that, which is what we go back to, stay grounded and go back to where you were before the season began. We wanted this Bears team to be something special in 2026.
Yeah.
And the way they look right now, I would be terrified of this football team if I wasn't on it in 2026. If I'm any other team in the league, I am putting a bullseye on this football team, and I'm saying next season, if they're on our schedule, we've got a problem. That's the kind of team this team can be. And think about it, man, that you're still so young. Caleb is young. Rome is young. Loveland's young. These guys are young. So young. Darnell Wright is young. This is a young football team.
Last
These guys in 2-3 years from now, just with the players they have, will be greatly improved on top of what they might add in drafts and free agency. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
have a bunch of young talent that's growing and becoming better and getting stronger, and like Luther Burdens and Colston Lovelands and Darnell Wrights and Caleb Williams. And a year from now, just from age alone and the benefits you have in playing more football, like we talked about earlier, the more you play, the better you get. The guys on this roster will be improved, as well as the talent you add on top of the fact, the icing on the cake, which Ben Johnson loves to talk about, is you now have a year's worth of film.
Yeah.
And you can work in the off season on the things that you know you're not doing well based on what you see, as opposed to this off season where it's just you're blind. You got nothing to work with. Ben Johnson didn't want to look at Matt Eberflus tapes of the Bears.
No, God, no.
He
We
wanted to
didn't want
start
him to
building.
either.
Yeah, we want him to start building something new. So you got to think next season, man. I mean, this Bears team is ahead of where they should be, I believe
You know
personally.
what? You know what, Brandon? They asked him today. They asked Ben Johnson today. What's different about you now from week 1 to week 11? And he said he's learning as head coach on the job. I mean, he said this is in his press conference today. He said, I'm still learning this roster. He goes, it's 11 weeks. I'm still learning this roster. I'm learning what these players can do, what they're good at, where they need to be, how they need to be, and you see it. And it's just like, okay, man, this guy's going to take a year to figure this all out. And there's going to be heads that roll on this team. And there's going to be people that are here now that won't be here based on what they've done this season. And they're just here now because they have to be. And I truly believe that. And I think that could cause one more year away from being that team that goes to the Super Bowl. But I think next year, as long as this line stays intact, they're going to be an offensive juggernaut. And this last 6 weeks of the season, or what is it, 7 weeks of the season that the Bears have left, it's going to be Caleb Williams versus some pretty good defense, because as much smack as we want to talk about the Green Bay Packers, that's a really good defense. Their defense it's pretty good. It's pretty good when they play, especially
They're
that
good against
seven.
the run.
Yeah, it's good against the run. They're decent against the pass. But Quay Walker, Cooper, and what's that other guy? Gary. They can get after you. So
I love Edgerrin Cooper is an awesome.
He's a stud. And then you got to think we got the Cleveland Browns. I mean, this guy, what Myles Garrett's doing right now is off the charts. He's got 12 sacks.
And you can't look at any game on the Bears schedule and think that's a win.
No.
Problem. And you shouldn't look at any Bears game.
I want to say Cleveland's going to be a win because we should be able to beat Dylan Gabriel or Shador Sanders.
And you can't you can't look at a game on the Bears schedule, I feel, man, and say that's just a loss. Sure, it's easy to project that the Bears lose to the Eagles because they're not as talented and they're far behind in the process of developing a championship winning team, but still, this is the difference that I think the Bears, this year's Bears, man, what I love is you watch this Eagles team last night play the Lions, and you watched them a week ago. Who was it? Play Detroit or Green Bay? I don't remember. Eagles.
Say that again. Sorry, I was reading the comments trying to get
for 2 weeks in a row. You've seen the Eagles kind of end a game within one score.
Yeah.
And like the way they played the Lions last night, Sean, if you're leaving the Bears in a game like that, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm going to hang my helmet on this, guys. This is not a fluke. This is not the Bears got lucky. This is, if you leave the Bears, if you leave them hanging around, Caleb turns to magic at the end of these football. I mean, they are going to tear you up. That's something that I'm going to firmly say for the rest of this year. If you leave this Bears within one score of you, you are in trouble.
Yeah, and Laz asked us, what are our thoughts on the pass rush? And my thought is it's just not there enough. And
no, it's not good.
It's going to be the ultimate downfall of this team, man.
It's exactly what it was on paper on the field.
Yeah, because you know what? The whole time, that last drive, or the scoring drive, when they took the lead, you're watching a clean pocket. And you're just like, somebody get there. I was literally, Brandon, I wish you were screaming at the TV, get home! Somebody get fucking home! And he's just standing in the pocket. I'm like, Jesus Christ, can somebody get to this fucking guy?
And you're doing that while you got a McLeod and Wright trying to cover Justin Jefferson, man.
Yeah.
You cannot give guys a quarterback who's throwing to a talent like that much time because Justin Jefferson's just going to make his own route. He's going to burn you. Like you don't want that guy going off script. It's a problem. What do you say?
He said the pic behind you should be a portrait of Mike Ditka.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I wish I could feng shui the wall art here, but I'm in a hotel.
Hey Flex, I'm having fun with it. I'm
There's a
having
little
fun
blue
with
and
it.
orange in there.
I just my heart, I don't know if it can handle 7 more of these. I'm
Oh, I think it can, Sean.
gonna need
I don't
a
know if your heart can handle.
defibrillator.
I don't know if your heart can handle 7 more buckets of chicken.
Well, today I did a little different. I made bacon ranch chicken flatbreads and barbecue bacon ranch flatbreads because I can't eat chicken wings. The Bears keep winning. I don't have chicken wing. I'm chicken
I
winged
mean,
out.
that's got a nice ring too. Victory
Yeah.
barbecue ranch chicken flatbreads.
They were really good. They were really. I
Sounds
made
good,
everything
bro.
from scratch.
I haven't eaten
too.
dinner. We gotta move on.
Jonah was botting fools. Yeah, Jonah Jackson. Hey man, I came into the season and I was down. I think somebody else in the chat said they were down on this deal.
He came into the season down. He has
Um,
improved week by week.
He
He
is. His first,
he wasn't good week 1, man.
he was a good week too. Yeah, but the whole line is getting better. And you know what? After listening to Olin Kreutz, and it was like week 3 or week 4, where Kreutz was in on the score afterwards, and he was talking about the offensive line, these pre-snap penalties, and he said, guys, everyone calm down. This is a new offensive line. It's not going to be magic. It's going to take time. He goes, I think by, week 10, 11, 12, 13, you're going to start seeing the penalties go down as these guys become a more cohesive unit. That's exactly what's happening. Olin Kreutz was dead on, and I would expect that from the best center in Chicago Bears history to tell us exactly what's happening. And you know what? It's what really calmed me down about the pre-snap penalties, just listening to him. And I mean, the Bears did have more penalties than Minnesota yesterday. I think they had 6 for 40, and Minnesota, I think, only had 2. But they weren't a lot of pre-snap penalties, and those are going down, which is helping the Chicago Bears as well. So,
Yeah, one thing I'll say about the line, man, is last year when the Bears had made a couple of they acquired Coleman Shelton, they had made some changes on that line. People were trying to convince me that this line was going to be better, and I didn't ever really believe it. But a thing that people said to me a lot in defense of how this line could improve was that a guy like Caleb Williams, a mobile quarterback, could help the line look better than they are. And last year that didn't happen, Sean. There was just too much to overcome. But Caleb Williams, he can't do that. But this year, as well as they've played, because they've only allowed 15 sacks now, or 16 sacks, I think, on the season. Caleb has really helped them out.
yeah, he has.
There's been times where he's just dead in the water and he finds a way, man. And I think I'm not taking credit away from the line. What I'm saying is these two guys, Caleb Williams' ability, his elusive abilities mixed with the
improvisation.
The players they've improved on. No, the additions they've made. If you pair that with Caleb's ability to move, this has just been a match made in fucking heaven. I don't think that could have worked any better than it has this year. And I know they have a problem at left tackle, guys, which we knew they would, but it hasn't made the impact that I thought that it would.
Yeah.
It hasn't derailed this thing the way it could have.
B-Dog says, you give polls a ton of crap, Sean, and it's warranted, no doubt, but most of the extremely important positions are upgraded. Head coach, quarterback, wide receiver, secondary, when healthy. Just got to remake the defensive line. Yeah, most of my criticisms come from him. He's done well this year, past drafts, because I understand he came and started a rebuild, stripped it down to the studs and rebuilt it up. And I just wish over the past 3 years as he's been drafting, there would have been some talent that was carrying over from these drafts that could be contributing on this team right now outside of the first and second round. Because when you look at Detroit, you look at Green Bay, you look at Philadelphia, you look at Pittsburgh, you look at these competitive teams, they have a lot of third and fourth rounders that are contributing regularly on their rosters.
And Sean and V-Dog, I'm not trying to pick. What's going on, Dustin?
What's up, Dustin?
Yo.
V-Dog, I'm not trying to pick on you here, but and I'm not blaming this on polls, and I'm not even blaming it on the player. I do want to say this though. When anybody talks about the pieces the Bears are missing, they excuse the injuries.
Yeah.
It's not a player's fault that they're injured, but an injury becomes a problem. It does. If Jaquan Brisker were to suffer a concussion on next Sunday's game and miss the rest of the season, he won't be getting a second contract, guys. So you can talk about the ability of, like, Ryan Poles did draft Kyler Gordon. He drafted Jalen Johnson, or he didn't draft Jalen Johnson. He signed Jalen Johnson, but like Kyler Gordon hasn't been here. And you do have to start to worry about that in next year's draft if you don't think that a guy can overcome things like these, man. It's not your nickel position right now is not set in stone. You're
You
not
just
good.
re-signed Kyler Gordon.
Yeah.
Brandon.
Yeah.
You just
you have a-
re-signed him. So
you have
it's
a-
kind of set in stone. I think.
Well, no, it's not. That's my point. Is you
just
can't
you
excuse
just
injury
allocated the resources
because the
to it.
player got the contract. You can't excuse injuries if it's not a problem for your team. Because Kyler Gordon right now would
They're
be
not
making a
drafting
real.
nickel back, Brandon. They're not.
No, I don't think
drafting
they
a
are either. But I think that that's the problem, Dustin. You're not going to draft a nickelback. You look at it as if it's addressed. And if Kyler Gordon is injured again, you're doing the same thing you did with Montez Sweat. You neglect your pass rush because you paid a guy $100 million. It hasn't improved.
I mean,
That's a problem.
when
upside
Kyler
down.
Gordon, I understand. When Kyler Gordon's on the field, he's a damn good player, man. I think
One of the best in the league.
Yeah, he's the top 3 nickel back.
Guys,
in
when
the
Christian
league.
Watson's
No,
on the
he's
field,
not,
he's the
Melvin.
best receiver on the Packers. He caught 2 touchdowns yesterday. It's a problem.
No, listen, I understand, man, but you're not going to allocate draft resources to try to fix that position.
but you
and I
also
don't
can't-
think you should. I don't think you
also
should.
can't
You look
call
at the
those-
Bears just went and spent pennies on CJ Gardner-Johnson, and they're getting good play out of that position. Imagine
Yes.
what Kyler Gordon's going to do in that position when he is healthy, which he will be. Brandon.
Or
He will
imagine
be.
Kyler, or imagine CJ Gardner-Johnson becomes your starting nickel. Just
How did you guys start
imagine that.
talking about this? How'd you guys start talking about this?
We were asked about Ryan Poles, and it was kind of listed as if the players that are injured are not like an impact on Ryan Poles' draft grades, but they are. That's my point, Dustin. You can't say, well, besides the guys who were injured that he drafted, well, he drafted them and they're injured. And it's not Ryan Poles' fault. You can't say Ryan Poles, you knew the guy, but it does reflect his grade overall if these guys are not able to get second deals. Like I just said, if Jaquan Brisker goes out for the remainder of this year, he's not going to be re-signed. And then you have to knock Ryan Poles for that. You do, injured or not.
No, Jed,
It's about when you're grading a GM, it's about players getting second deals, extensions. That's where the grade comes.
For sure, and that's looking pretty good in terms of what Poles has drafted at this point and how they're performing for the most part. I mean, the Kyler Gordon thing, I think, is completely separate from the Jaquan Brisker thing, to be honest, because I think Kyler Gordon earned that extension, and I think the Bears
He absolutely did.
The Bears weren't like, out of
I think
out of their
Brisker's
depths
earned
by
an
doing
extension.
that. And Brisker might 100%. Brisker's playing really well this year. All I'm saying is I think it's 2 separate conversations, and we'll see where that goes. Jed, I did not forget about daylight savings. That was a week and a half. That was 2 weeks ago at this point. I fell asleep, guys. I woke up at like 6:30. I didn't know if I was going to be on at all. I mean, I got a vasectomy this morning, and nitrous is awesome. Nitrous is very cool, Sean. If you ever
No more children.
No, yeah, and that's well deserved, well earned, as I said on Thursday.
A basketball team is enough for Dustin.
I'm playing hurt. I'm playing hurt right now. But I just wanted to jump on because I know, Sean, you got to get out of here somewhat early.
Yeah, I gotta get out. And before I get out of
here, so I just wanted to say
before
what's
I get
up to
out of
everybody.
here, Dustin, I'm glad you showed up because I just want to get your guys' opinion. We played the infamous clip. We'll play it one more time. We'll play it one more
Last
time.
thing, the most important piece is we're going to take the North and never give it back.
So we got the lead in the North, and a lot is going to change in the next 3 games, my friends.
Yeah, they're giving it back.
Well, here's our next 3 games, man. We got Minnesota, Detroit. Green Bay is Minnesota, Detroit, Chicago. We got Pitt, Philly, Green Bay, New York, Green Bay, Cowboys. Thing that sticks out here for me is it seems like the Bears are just constantly on the road. Detroit is a 3-game homestand coming up, for the love of Christ. And Packers have 2 of 3 at home. So
I think You made Green Bay a toilet. That's awesome. But I think if Green Bay loses that Detroit game at Detroit, and then you go to Green Bay if you're the Bears and you beat them, I think you're pretty much taking the Packers out of the postseason.
And that's what you think is going to happen? Because that's kind of what I'm thinking is going to happen.
A win in Green Bay is tough, man. That's tough. I think they're going to lose to Detroit in Detroit. Yeah. I think Detroit's going to be pretty pissed off after what just happened to them, man. I think they're going to start lighting some fires. I don't know, though. Something looks off there.
Well, 3 games at home, Giants, Green Bay, Cowboys. I think the Lions are ripe to get back into that seat. And the FanDuel has the Packers as the favorite in division. DraftKings has the Lions. I still think the Lions are the favorite to win the division. Say what you will. I still think they're the better team of the 4 teams in the division, well-rounded. Their defense, though, is a little suspect as well, too. So,
listen, I mean, I think the Packers and the Lions are both very good teams, Sean. I mean, you saw the Packers get the win against the Giants yesterday, and you saw the Lions not be able to really get the ball going against a very good Eagles defense on the road. I mean, and that's going to happen to a lot of teams that play the Eagles. It's going to happen when the Bears play the Eagles. The Bears are going to win this week, I believe. Not to give away the goat too much, but the Bears will win this week. I've been saying they're going to be 8-3.
I think so too.
I've been saying they're going to be 8-3 going into Philly for about a month now, but I also think they're going to be 8-5 after that Philly and Green Bay game, man. And then you go to Cleveland, that puts you to 9-5. At that point, you got to find one win to try to earn yourself a wild card spot.
Green Bay, San Francisco, Detroit.
Yeah, man, you got to just pull one win out of those 3, and I think you got a wild card spot. But I don't know that the Bears are a contender for the NFC North right now. I mean, it's great the way they've played, and I've loved the way they've played. And I think, and I said this to you guys yesterday, and I just want to point this out from yesterday's game. I don't know if it was talked about earlier. The play where Rome catches the ball on the ground, gets up and starts running, and everyone keeps pushing him forward. You got every player on the ball trying to put that play right there encapsulates this Bears team perfectly. They are gritty. They are all in it together. They are pushing forward for everything they can get, and they're finding ways to win games they probably shouldn't have. But I don't know that makes them a contending team. I think this is a lot of fun and that we should appreciate it for what it is. And if they can make the playoffs, that's going to be even better, But I think the Packers are a better team this year. I think the Lions are a better team this year. Now, both of those teams have had ups and downs as well. But there's a reason that the Bears are like a 14% favorite to win the NFC North right now because those 2 teams are very good.
I think the Bears are a lot closer to the Packers than what people think. I don't think this Packers team is that good of a football team.
I think the Bears with Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon are different Bears. And I think
I agree with that.
No, yeah, 100%.
By the time that Packers game comes around, that might be the case.
Do they go from the worst pass defense in the NFL to the 10th worst?
I think they go. I think they might.
Of the pack?
I can't believe I'm even saying this. I think they might increase the rate in which they take the ball away.
Taking the ball away and being good on third down is where the Bears have made their bones on defense. But they are.
And Kyler Gordon and Jalen Johnson can take the ball away. Those 2 guys are adding 2 more Hawks.
But they don't make this defense a playoff contending defense. They don't make this defense on the level of the Packers defense. Certainly not the Eagles defense. And the Lions defense stood up really good against a good Eagles offense yesterday too. I just don't think that those guys are enough to make this team that type of team. I don't.
Listen, I said this.
It'll be fun for sure.
I said this before you came on.
I agree with Flex.
I think the Bears can beat anybody in the league, and I think they can lose to anybody. That's what I think the Bears
they'll be if they make the playoffs, they'll be a scary team to play, Brandon. That's what I know for sure. No team's going to want to play them in the playoffs.
Thing that I can say, Dustin, and I think we can all agree, then I'm going to say this firmly.
Nice, Mikey.
The thing that I will say with confidence is if you let the Bears hang around, they're going to make you pay for it.
Yeah.
There is no team that looks the same with a minute left in a game than the Chicago Bears team right now. Between Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams, they're unstoppable when it counts. And I wouldn't if they're in that game against Philly, it's a 1-score game and the Bears got the ball with 1 minute and 12 seconds left. I am not betting against them. I'll tell you that.
No, none of us should.
I'm going to start betting on them. I'm gonna start
but-
betting on them.
Right?
you-
A live bet would probably make you a lot of money, man.
But I don't know that the Bears will be in that position against this Philly team playing the way they played.
No,
Sean
they
has made
have
this
to make
point
sure
for a couple of
they
weeks.
have to make sure
you know.
they hang in there. That's the
They're,
thing.
if they play the way they've been playing against these teams that they've beaten, they are not going to be in close games with the Eagles.
I
They're
agree
not.
with that.
No, and guys, listen, the Bears could very well sweep the Packers. It is a possibility. I think the Packers are a team that can be got. They clearly have weaknesses. But when they're on top of their game, it's going to be a hard thing to do. And I do want to shout out Mikey because he's the one that said the Bears are going to sweep the Packers. He called out the Byard interception yesterday in our pregame show. He said Byard would have 2 picks. He only had the 1, but it was still a pretty damn good call, Mikey. Wanted to shout you out for that.
I forgot about that. Good call,
Yeah,
Mike.
Nashawn Wright and Byard have been remarkable at taking the ball away, man. I think these two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if you look at Addison Reed Jordan Addison on that play, Brandon, he was wide open, and JJ McCarthy airmailed that ball. Addison
Right.
Reed had
And
Jordan Addison had Nashawn
Yeah,
Wright
but
beat.
It
He
is
had him
their
beat.
job to execute when somebody makes a mistake. That's your job.
Understood. I'm saying against a good quarterback, Brandon, that pass is there well before Nashawn Wright has a chance to get there.
I think
That's
isn't
what I'm
it
saying.
isn't the Nashawn Wright though the one where Grady Jarrett hit him? I think he was
No,
hit
Grady
on that
Jarrett
play.
hit him on the one that
That was on the
got.
Bayard.
Yeah, true.
That was
No,
the Bayard.
JJ McCarthy had a clean pocket, and he had Jordan Addison wide.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
open,
know.
and
I don't
he
know, man. I don't know.
airmailed that
I don't know
ball.
what's your message. Like, I don't think the Bears are going to stop taking the ball away even against good quarterbacks. I don't.
I'm saying that if a good quarterback had that play in the game, they're going to make it. JJ McCarthy did not. JJ McCarthy made a mistake, and I banked on that. We said yesterday, I said JJ McCarthy's going to throw 2 picks at least, and Caleb's not going to throw any. Caleb's not
Yeah,
going to
and I think Jordan Love's
going
gonna give the Bears the ball.
Oh, he
Jared
will.
Goff's gonna
will.
give the Bears
Jordan
the
Love
ball.
certainly makes
Jalen
bad
Hurts
decisions
might
every
give the
game.
Bears the ball.
Hey,
I don't-
boys.
Jalen Hurts doesn't make bad decisions with the football.
Hey,
That's
boys
the
and
one thing he
girls.
doesn't do.
Rodgers is gonna give the ball away.
Thank
if he
you,
plays.
everyone, for showing up tonight. I got to take off. I got to go do a book report with my daughter.
A
We're
what?
going to go do a
All
book
right.
report. I'm going to go help
Nice.
her with her
What
homework.
book? What book?
Actually, I don't know.
Oh wow, you're
I
doing
don't
great
know.
so far, Sean.
I'm gonna have to shuffle it through. She's been reading. She wants me to proofread it and help her write her report and stuff. So that's basically what I'm gonna be there for.
Cliff notes, Sean. Cliff
But I
notes.
told her that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna look up the Cliff Notes.
I
Hey,
know
bud.
you are.
To everybody, thank you guys very much for showing up. Enjoy the rest of this night with Dustin and Brandon. We'll see y'all on Wednesday. We'll preview the Steelers. Hopefully, I really, really do want Aaron Rodgers to play this game because I want to beat his ass before he retires. Hopefully, he does.
I
good.
hope he plays. I really do.
Hope he plays with a
thank you guys
broken
so
wrist.
much.
Yeah.
We'll see y'all on Wednesday. Peace and love and bear down, everybody.
Later, Sean.
And
Yeah,
Brandon,
I would love for him to play with a broken wrist and this on
yeah,
his
no,
throwing hand.
it'd be good to see the Bears beat the hell out of him at Soldier Field one last time before he gets out of this league.
Yeah, I'm not too
hoping
worried
he
about
does.
Rodgers whether or not he
I'm not
plays.
worried about that Steelers team. They're a good team when they play well, and they're a bad team when they don't. And I think that the Bears can get them. I do want to point out the Kraft injury for the Packers is obviously huge. And you saw how Laporta not being there for the Lions last night affected their offense in a major way. So the Bears are also catching some breaks, and this could just be the season where everything bounces their way, Brandon,
It's
and they
feeling
find
that
their way
man.
to like 11 or 12 wins and
Yeah.
somehow steal the North this year in the first year under Ben Johnson. And the Ben Johnson thing, I'm sure you guys talked about it, man, but I just want to bring it up since I'm here. I'm not going to be able to stay here much longer. I'm not feeling the greatest, but we talked about it last night, Brandon. I think this is an important conversation to have. We were both kind of disappointed with the way Ben Johnson, ran that offense and called that game. In a lot of areas, it felt like he was calling it, trying to just hold on to the game, not to lose it, instead of trying to win it and put them out of their misery. And I think 2 things about that. The first thing I think is you got to trust Caleb, and that trust is still growing, and it's going to come. But, that Vikings defense was up his ass all game, blitzed him 2/3 of the time, and he handled that really well, didn't turn the ball over. But the second thing is Ben Johnson, I think he watched that tape, and he is the person from this Bears team that's going to improve the most from watching that tape. I think he's the one that's going to watch that tape, and I feel like I know this, having seen Ben Johnson operate all season. He's going to see, I got to be better there. I got to make some more aggressive decisions and put this game away. You can't argue with the result, Brandon. It's good. I think he had his worst game as a head coach yesterday, and they got to win. That's what I think. So that's a positive, and you can't argue with the result. But I think Ben Johnson needed a game like this to kind of set himself in motion for the end of this season and what he could have done better. And I think he's going to see it and he's going to fix it. We'll see that this week in this game, Brandon.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dustin. Caleb had struggled in week 1 against this Vikings team, and I thought he struggled again yesterday. I was hoping that would improve. He was off, but the one thing that I was hoping was, especially with the difference from week 1 to now, is they weren't going to do the same shit, and they did.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable. They looked good. They looked in command. They had a lead, but it wasn't ever big enough. And then they lost it the same way they did in week 1.
Got
man.
too conservative. Too
And
conservative.
it's just like, dude, when you see a team bleeding on the ground, put them out. Put them out. McCarthy,
you gotta
it was.
step on their throats and keep.
Did you see them on the sideline? The Vikings looked like they had already lost, dude. Like, you got to see that and think, we have got to put these guys away for sure. This is the moment, man. So yeah, I'm with you, man. Me and you were texting about it yesterday during the game. I thought this was the one. There was times where Ben Johnson was really aggressive early in this season where I was like, man, I wish he would just taken some field goals in that game. So yesterday was the game where this is it. I was thinking to myself, like, this is where Ben is.
If you would have just got a touchdown on one of those drives, that game was over.
Yeah.
And I think Tyreek going out made a huge difference. I've said that a couple times now because
that play was so disappointing.
Yeah, it was. Brisker took him out of the game basically. But like once Tyreek went out, that's when JJ McCarthy and that passing offense was able to open up a little bit. The Bears were able to overcome it. I just think Ben Johnson on offense, being a little more aggressive, ends that game, and I think he's going to see that and he's going to adjust in a major way. I think one thing that Ben Johnson has shown is that he's willing to adjust, man. I don't know what you guys talked about throughout the rest of this. I don't know if there was any major points. My biggest thought from that game yesterday was that Rome Odunze play, man. I texted you guys when it happened. Like, this is the play right here that shows exactly who this Bears team is. And Ben Johnson said that in his presser today and after the game review, that they've had a few plays like that this year where everybody's just rallying to the ball, and that's a huge advantage the Bears have over a lot of teams because you don't see a lot of teams do that in the NFL. This team is at the very least bought in, and they have each other's backs.
And something I said last week that I want to allude to that I think is coming to fruition, man. I think it's anyone's game. The Bears, somebody's going to step up when they're in position to do so. And
it feels like it's always somebody different too.
Yes, yeah, that's what I mean. I was just going to say, I think they've given more game balls to a greater number of players than any team in the NFL at this point, man, because Devin Duvernay was not a guy that you expected we were going to be talking about after that game was all said. But yet, I mean, that play was huge, man. That play was huge.
Just when you're thinking the special teams has been an issue for the Bears, it comes up in a huge way.
With a kick and a return.
With the kick return and the kick to seal the game.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, and Santos had missed one earlier in the game, and he came through big. And that was another spot where I was a little concerned. Honestly, when they didn't get that first down, I honestly thought about going. I would have gone for it on fourth down to secure a few more yards.
48-yarder is not a comfortable field goal. And I don't mean for me. I mean for Santos. I don't think Santos is comfortable.
But Ben Johnson was, and he was right. So, who are we to question him at this point? Like, it's resulting in wins. I had that question as the kick was about to happen, but Ben Johnson had a place in mind where he was comfortable with. He didn't want to put the ball in harm's way, and he wanted to just get the win and get the fuck out of there. And that's exactly what happened. Ben Johnson is a smart dude. He nailed it. He was right. I would have liked a little bit more there, but like at the end of the day, the Bears got the win, man. And when there was no time on the clock. So that's what it's all about.
Me and you talked about this a lot on Thursday, but it can't be understated, especially after that game. And I shared something on Facebook, a post-game, an on-field post-game interview with Caleb Williams.
Nice job.
And when you first see the interview, it's whoever it is that's asking the questions and Caleb in a shot. And then Caleb answers a couple questions. Then the guy himself with the microphone says to Caleb, I know you weren't going to do this interview without Cairo standing next to you. And Caleb kind of pulls him into the shot. But we talked about his ability to lead, Dustin, and that. I got 500 likes after I shared it, and I truthfully believe there was nothing special about that video. Caleb gave vanilla answers to questions. Well, we got to focus on next week, that kind of stuff. I think it was the fact that Caleb had kind of requested that the guy who he believes won the football game get the credit that he deserved.
Yeah,
And
Moody
that
went to the
is,
Commanders, man.
that's just,
The Bears are comfortable with Santos. No more Moody. That conversation is dead.
well,
And
you know, I said
I
it's
think
going to rear,
Santos kind of killed that conversation.
yeah,
To
I
be
said
honest.
it's going to rear its ugly head, and it did in a good way, man. Santos came out and won a football
Yeah,
game.
no, Santos secured himself into that spot, and I think that's fine. I think we got to trust Ben Johnson to make those decisions, and it seems like
And
they made the
Richard
right one.
Hightower.
We got the win, man. But yeah, Shannon brought that up. I saw Cliff bring it up earlier. And then Monungai, Paul brings up, running in the flat. I think Caleb did a good job. You brought up Caleb, Brandon, and Paul's bringing up that. So I think these two things kind of combine. Like you want to knock Caleb for not completing those deep balls on third down to Roma Dunze and DJ Moore. And I get it. You want to hit those and you want those back. But at the end of the day, Caleb did not turn the ball over. Caleb is a tremendous leader for this football team. He never wavered. He kept the team in the game and kept them focused. And he did do a good job yesterday of evading a lot of pressure and getting the ball out quick when he needed to get some plays into the hands of his playmakers. And you saw Colston Loveland get a big third down reception, with some yak. And you saw Cole Kmet getting off, and these tight ends are starting to come along. And I think Caleb is just adding little pieces to his game every week that eventually it's all going to come together. And that last 5 minutes is going to become the total 60 minutes. And you're going to see Caleb Williams really kicking some ass. I think what you saw thrown at him yesterday in terms of defensively was a whole lot that a lot of quarterbacks don't deal with. And you saw Jared Goff deal with a lot of pressure last night, and the guy didn't even complete 50% of his passes. He got his ass kicked, basically barely completed 50% of his passes. This happens to good quarterbacks in the league when they are consistently pressured, guys. So I don't think Caleb performed poorly yesterday. I think he performed in a very strong way, and I was proud of how he dealt with that defense, to be honest, Brandon.
Yeah, and I think I said this earlier before you jumped on, man. I think it's worth saying. As improved as that line is, and as good as the numbers are, Caleb is a big reflection on that, man. These guys have done good. They've played really good. I think the two things together, the elusiveness of Caleb Williams and the improvements they've made on the offensive line, have turned into kind of this superpower, because they're going to finish this season with less than 30 sacks, is what it's looking like now.
And Caleb's a big
which
part
is
of that
remarkable.
too, because he's been the most elusive quarterback.
That's what I
in the
mean. I
NFL.
think the two together are, because the
100%.
line is probably, in regards to statistics, Dustin, the line's getting a little more credit than Fred, because Caleb is getting away from sacks that are there to be had.
Prophet says he has improved the strength, and Prophet, we did a whole show about Caleb improving on Thursday, the bare minimum. We didn't see you there, but if you didn't watch it, go check it out, because that was our biggest thing too. He has improved upon what he is already good at, and he's improving on the things that his deep ball is better. We went through all of it in terms of how Caleb has been performing this year. If y'all want to go check that out, because we spent an hour and a half just talking about Caleb on Thursday, and I thought that was a lot of fun. Brandon, you got anything else you want to get into? I'm gonna have to get out of here, man. Are you gonna stick around if I get out of here?
No, we're at an hour and a half here, man. I think, guys, it's important. Like I said before, we said this before the game on Sunday. They beat a divisional opponent for the first time this year. They did it on the road. It's probably the best team they've played, or not played, the best team they've beaten all season. Maybe the Cowboys. I don't know.
You got to stack some more of these wins. The Bears need at least 3 more wins to make themselves playoff.
Just in regards to, I think with each passing game, guys, we're all sitting here wondering who the Bears are, how good they can be, and where they might end up. And I think with each passing game, you'll kind of see where they fall. Man, I think depending on how it's like a college football season. Their strength of their competition. How well do the Bears play against the teams that they should beat? How well do they play against the teams that we expect them to lose to? If they come out against Philly and get their ass whooped, that'll kind of let you know where the Bears are this year, guys. For the remainder of the season, that should give you a hint of how good the Bears aren't. But if the Bears come out and lose the game against the Eagles 26-23,
I'll be happy.
You got a good football team.
You got to see them compete against that team. That's what it comes down to for me, Brandon. Shannon says Caleb was not happy about this win. I don't think Caleb was happy with his performance. I think he's happy with the win, and that tells you a lot about that quarterback.
I think he was tired, man.
But he was pissed off walking off the field. I think, but he wasn't happy with his performance. He wants to get better. He's going to get better. That's the thing about Caleb.
And he's a guy who, I mean, guys, he will visibly get frustrated with the imperfections. When players drop passes, he rolls his eyes and throws his head. That's who Caleb is. I've embraced that too, Dustin. He's a guy who's going to wear his emotions on his sleeves. He's not a discretion kind of guy. He's just not.
Listen, you knew it when JJ McCarthy threw that touchdown yesterday. They left Caleb too much time. That's what I texted you guys. And then Caleb, you didn't even need him because Duvernay just pulled that ball and got it all the way to
Yeah, I believe Caleb would have gotten there anyways.
No, I do too. But this Bears team has just found a way, and that's what matters. And my message to everyone, and will continue to be, is this team finds a way. This team is fun. This team's going to give you fits. You're going to have a conniption throughout the game, and it's going to be up and down. But just enjoy this ride, guys, because this team is fun to watch. This team is competitive, and this team don't quit. They're well coached. They're becoming more disciplined, and they're just fucking gritty, man. And they're all bought into it. So just enjoy this, man, because it's only going to get better. You got to
make it easier on yourselves.
You got this stuff in place.
Look for the growth, even in the games they lose. It'll help you accept the loss a little more, man. I when the Bears lose games like they did against Baltimore, there's still places where you can see they improve, and that should
Caleb
make you
was
happy
great in
no
that
more.
game in a lot of ways. Yeah, I mean, you can just try to find the improvement, see what they're getting better at, and just enjoy this for what it is, guys, because we don't get this often as Bears fans, these types of seasons. We really don't. So I'm here for it, man. I'm having a lot of fun. And these shows have been a lot of fun after these Bears wins. It's going to be another one. Bears will be 8-3 after this Sunday, but we got preview shows coming on Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday, the Barely There podcast with Sean and Kyle and Jay. Thursday, me and Brandon will be on for the bare minimum. It's going to be a fun week, guys, leading up to a Steelers game at home. I think the Bears are going to be ready for that one. It's going to be a lot of fucking fun, man. Another crazy game, I'm sure.
And guys, I'm not sure which host will be involved. Like, just from moving forward, guys, we're gonna have a 10 o'clock Sunday kickoff show. Keep your eyes peeled for that, guys.
Yeah.
Tune into that.
Yeah, I've been having Camila with me, and she's been bringing good luck.
Yeah, and we're kind of killing it.
Yeah.
We're kind of, once we get all the injuries and the facts and the updates, when that pregame comes, man, we're kind of killing it on how the game's gonna play out. We've been pretty spot on for like a good 3 weeks in a row here, man. So
Prophet
definitely stay tuned.
Yeah,
keep your eyes open for that show, guys.
I'm gonna try to be here on Sunday again with Camila. We'll see how it goes. Y'all have been awesome. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Relentless Mikey, Prophet, Trey, Paul Martin, Jed, as always. Who else was in here, Brandon? I know y'all had we got Ted.
Thanks, guys.
Ted is like a boss. Have you seen this
Thursday
gentleman
stuff.
before? What's up, Ted? Thanks for being here, brother.
Ted dislikes a boss.
Ted is like a boss. Yeah, I like the name.
Let's
Thanks
give
for
him
being here.
let's throw him over here.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, Ted. Appreciate you, brother.
Button. Make sure we got content coming at you all week about these Bears. This is going to be a fun season to watch how it plays out. I do think the Bears are going to be playing their best football, man, in December, as Ben Johnson has been saying all year. And they're going to get better from this game, too. And guess what? They got the win. Don't apologize for a win, guys. We're good. Bears are 7-3. Let's make it 8-3, like Cliff said. And
Sky's the limit.
yeah, y'all have been awesome. We appreciate you. Bear down. Have a wonderful evening. Have a great week. Bears victory Monday. Enjoy the Monday night game. We'll see you guys Wednesday.
Bear down.
Peace out.